Obsidian Entertainment. Oh boy. Legendary. Creators of some absolute classics. Like my personal favorite, Fallout New Vegas. With a limited budget and timeline, they were able to add an entry into the Fallout universe that, in my opinion, outdid Bethesda at their own game. An open world adventure with a memorable story, interesting characters, unique locations, great environmental storytelling, my favorite exploration in any game I've ever played. And what has received a lot of praise over the years is how the world reacts to the player. Decisions you make will have a noticeable effect on the world, giving the player a lot of choice in how they progress. A great example being you can pretty much kill anyone, no matter how important that character is to a quest or even the main storyline. And now, they're putting out a new open world RPG. I can't wait to see what the studio can do. With more time and more resources with Microsoft, I can only imagine how much more interactive and reactive the world will be compared to Fallout New Vegas, and how much more choice the player will have, and how interesting the characters will. Yeah, NPCs don't even react when you steal from them. I was willing to give Obsidian the benefit of the doubt with Outer Worlds. I know people seem to have liked it, but I thought it was very mediocre in almost every way. Definitely a step backwards from New Vegas. But now we have another just okay open world RPG from them, where NPCs can't move in cities. The few that do are glitching out. The main storyline is boring and predictable. Your choices aren't reflected in the game world and don't seem to have any lasting impact on your companions. And you can't even attack people in cities. Obsidian, what happened to being able to kill everyone? Why are we making Starfield look good by comparison? At least you can attack them there. Obsidian, NPCs reacted to you stealing from them in Oblivion. That game came out almost 20 years ago. I think it's time to finally accept the obvious. This game was not made by the same people who made this game. And this is a lesson we've been learning time and time again recently. Games are made by the people working at the studios, not the studios themselves. Bioware. Remember how great Mass Effect 2 was? How interesting the story was and great the character writing was? You mean to tell me the same people who wrote this? Wrote this? Bethesda. The biggest draw to Bethesda games was being able to explore an open world and find a lot of interesting side content on your own. So do you really think the same people who made Fallout 3 decided that it was a good idea to make a game where exploration is walking on a barren planet for 20 minutes? No. And for that same reason, when Microsoft realizes that the last couple of Halos have sucked and they decided to rename 343 to Halo Studios, we know nothing is going to change because it's the same people working on the game. I'm not skeptical about The Witcher 4 because the trailer features a woman. I'm skeptical because of what we have heard about CDPR's priorities when hiring now, and because many of the devs from The Witcher 3, including the game director, have left CDPR after expressing frustration with the studio's identity politics to make their own studio. So even though it's CDPR, The Witcher 4 is not being made by the same people who made The Witcher 3. And same for Naughty Dog. Do we really think the people who brought you this thought it would be a good idea to give you this? As sad as I am to admit it, most of the studios that have made my favorite games no longer have the same talent working for them. And while this may not always be a bad thing, you can't expect the same type of game from people with different creative visions.